a handful of people. Sweet. Well, good. So this class moves a little bit quickly and it gets a little wild at times. And the whole intention is to have fun. The sequence is intended to be creative and fun and playful. So let it be all of those things. Listen to your body. And also like surprise yourself. Try things that you might otherwise not try. Okay? We're gonna start standing. All right. What's up, folks at home? I'm so glad you're here. Arms by your side, just to begin. Close your eyes. Yeah, take a nice deep breath in. Really big exhale, let it go. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Breathe in. Big exhale, let it go. Hands to prayer position, gaze to your fingertips. Breathe in. Empty out. One Om. Inhale. Mountain pose, reach up, breathe in. Fold forward with your exhale. Lift up halfway and breathe in. Chaturanga as you exhale. Feel free to bring the knees to the ground or modify in any way. Upward facing dog as you inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Land here. Set your gaze to one point. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. One more. Inhale, come up on your toes. Bend your knees as you exhale. Look forward, step or jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward and breathe out. Mountain pose. Inhale takes you up. Fold forward, go right into the second sun salutation. Halfway lift with your inhale. Chaturanga with your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. One spot for your gaze. Empty your lungs. Deep breath in. Even bigger breath out. See if you can keep your lips sealed. Good. One more. Breathe in. Exhale completely. Look forward, step or jump. Halfway lift with your inhale. Fold forward with your exhale. Mountain pose. Last sun salutation A. Fold forward as you exhale. Halfway lift. Fill your lungs. Chaturanga. Empty your lungs. Upward facing. Breathe in. Downward facing. Breathe out. Deep breath. Exhale. Spread your fingers really wide. Exhale completely. Good. One more. Breath in. Clear it all out. Look forward, then jump to the front of your mat and lift halfway. Yeah, Bernie. Fold forward. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Breathe in. Fold as you breathe out. Halfway lift and lengthen. Chaturanga. High to low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one on the right side. Use your inhale to rise up. Chaturanga. Exhale. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one. Deep breath in. Chaturanga as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. Clear it out. Good. Deep breath in. Empty. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. When you exhale, look forward, prepare, and then jump when you're empty. Halfway lift with your inhale. Really nice jumps. Fold forward. Chair pose. Inhale. Fold as we exhale. Halfway lift and lengthen. Chaturanga, high to low. Upward facing. Downward facing, warrior one. We're gonna add in the Jedi option. Rise up with your inhale. Plant the hands as you exhale. Slide your right foot back just a little bit. Inhale as you lift the left leg up. Exhale as you land at the back of your mat into chaturanga. It makes more sense the more you do it. Upward facing, downward facing. Kristen's like, I got it on the first try. Left side, warrior one. Use your inhale to rise. Plant the hands as you exhale. Left foot slides back just under the hips. As you inhale, hop off the left leg, land on the left toes at the back of the mat. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Deep breath. Let it out. Yeah, root down through the knuckle of your forefinger. Reach your heels back and down. Take one more breath. Let it all go. Top of your mat. When you're empty, then lift halfway. Fold forward and exhale. Chair pose. That's your inhale. Fold forward, belly towards your thighs. Lift and lengthen. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Here we go. Warrior one. Use your inhale to come up. As you exhale, plant the hands. Slide your right foot back and then inhale as you lift up. Little baby handstand, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. See, I waited to call it a handstand until after you tried it already. Hands plant. Left foot slides back. Lift up. Arms stay straight. Land on the left toes. That's it, Evan. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. Let it out. Inhale. Clear it out. Top of your mat. We're going to try it one more time because I think you all like it secretly. Fold forward, breathe out. Chair pose. Try to make this one movement, one breath. Fold forward. Lift halfway. Chaturanga. Upward. Downward. Warrior one. Right leg lunges. Hands plant. Right leg slides back slightly. Left leg lifts. Oh, catch some air. Land. Might surprise yourself like I just did. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Warrior one. Lunge. Hands plant. Set it up. Take it up. And land. Yeah, Benjamin. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. I told you, it gets a little wild from time to time. Take one more breath. Exhale. Widen your stance a bit for a twist. Right hand reaches around to the left ankle. Look underneath your left arm. Bend your right arm so that your elbow is reaching towards your right ankle. Take one more breath. Clear it out. Switch sides. Make sure you're really rooting down through that right hand. Spread your fingers. Push down through the knuckle of the forefinger. Look underneath your left armpit. Good. Back to downward facing dog. Take a breath. Let it all out. Top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Interlace your fingers above you. Press your palms away. Sit your hips a little lower. Hips back a little further. Now lower halfway for half chair pose. Booty back. Fingers reaching forward. Still have the interlaced fingers though. So you're stretching through the forearms, through the wrists. Pull your belly in like you're trying to lift it away from your thighs. Good. Take another breath. Hands plant in front of your toes. Crow pose. Only 3 breaths. Lean your weight into your hands. Gaze forward. Come up onto the tippy toes. Keep breathing for 3, 2, yeah, Hamid, 1. Chaturanga. Take it back. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Deep breath. Clear it out. Warrior one, right side. Rise up. Stay here. Stretch your arms a little higher. And once again, interlace your fingers. Press your palms up. Look up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath. Warrior two, open up. Take an inhale. Settle in a little deeper. Reverse triangle, front leg straightens. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Take the right hand to the foot, the ankle, to a block. For funsies, you can try big toe bind here. Peace fingers will wrap around the big toe. You might need to shorten the stance a bit. Yeah, if you shorten the stance, if you've got the toe bind, make sure you're pulling up on that toe. Stretch your top arm up and away. Nice, Kaylee. Take another breath. Stay for the exhale. Left hand to the floor, twisting triangle. So turn your foot, left foot in just slightly if you need to. Revolve to face towards the lobby. Push down into your left hand. That's it, Kristen. Stretch your top arm to the ceiling. Maybe even look towards your top hand. Good. Take another breath in. Deep breath out. Warrior two. Use your inhale to bring you all the way up. And land. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Right hand to the inside of the right foot. Left arm stretches to the ceiling. Take a half bind by bending your top arm, reach behind you. Maybe a full bind by sliding this bottom arm underneath the thigh. Slide your arm underneath, maybe find fingertips back there. We won't be here too much longer though. Take another breath. Nice, release that. Left hand down and come straight into a twist. So the back foot can stay flat or lift up onto the back toes. Good, keep the belly drawing in. Push down into the left hand, reach up through the top arm. Good, take another deep breath in. Hands to the floor, chaturanga. Maybe you hover that right leg as you lower. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Elbows to the ground for dolphin pose. See if you can bend them straight down, palms flat. Gaze between your wrists. Start to walk your toes towards your elbows so your hips get really high. Stay right here or lift right leg to the ceiling. Notice your breath, keep breathing. Draw your belly in, bend slightly into that bottom leg, and see if you can take a few little hops. Keep your core engaged though. Try not to let the belly just drop loose, which is what it wants to do. For 3, keep breathing. 2, and 1, child's pose. Regroup. Kristen was asking me before class, is this class heated? Is it hot? Is it sweaty? I was like, well, it's actually not as hot as some of our regular vinyasa classes. And yes, you will sweat. All right, downward facing dog. We get to do all that on the other side. We'll start by just regrouping, settle into your breath. Take another one. Clear it out. Left foot forward, warrior one. Good, interlace your fingers above you, press your palms away. Try plugging your shoulders back behind your ears. Draw your belly in, take another breath, look up. Warrior two, open up. Inhale, settle a little bit deeper. Reverse triangle, reach up and back. Triangle pose. Tommy, that was the biggest yawn I've ever seen. And I don't remember what class it was in, but sometime last week I was telling my students that I read that skydivers yawn right before they jump out of an airplane. And apparently lions yawn right before they attack their prey. So I don't think it means you're tired or bored. I think it means you're a badass. Twisting triangle, right hand comes down to the ground, to the block. Use what you got, and then revolve to face towards the left. You want to try to keep pulling your left hip back to get a big stretch on the outside of that left leg. Yeah, good. Adjusting your stance as you need to be more grounded. It's perfect. Take another deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. And then come all the way up. Warrior two, land here. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Go right on into the bind if that's where you want to go. Half bind, full bind. Let it be playful. Let it be creative. Lean your top shoulder back. Keep the breath flowing. Take another inhale. Stay for the exhale. Lower your right hand to the ground. Take the twist. Right hand is down. Stretch your left arm to the ceiling. That's it, William. Yeah, keep pulling the left hip back. Pull your right hip forward. Pull your belly in. Take another inhale. Left hand to the ground, move through your vinyasa. Maybe that left leg hovers on your way down. Upward facing, downward facing dog. All right, try it this time. So from down dog, start to bend your elbows straight down to the floor. See if you can control the lowering down, ending up in a dolphin pose. And if it was hard, then you're doing it right. Walk your toes in towards your elbows. This time your left leg lifts. Pull your belly in. Make sure you're looking between your wrists. Bottom leg bends. Bottom leg is your spring. Try to keep the left leg straight, engaged. Belly tight, keep breathing. Yeah, when you fall, you end up doing like a forearm cartwheel, which is very advanced shit right there. So down, child's pose. Nice hold, Jenny. Child's pose, regroup. Take another breath. Clear it out. Downward facing dog. Forgot to stop the music before I came in, so you're welcome. Bend your elbows out towards the sides like you're doing a down dog push-up. Bend your knees a little bit and imagine somebody has their hands on your hips and they're going to start to pull you towards the back of your mat. And you're going to push off your hands and try to hop back just one hand print. Elbows bend, push, go back. So go back one hand print at a time until you end up all the way at the back of your mat. You can also say, yeah, I'm not doing that, and just walk your hands back. And then once you get back there, peace fingers to big toes. That's it, Evan. Scoop up your big toes, lengthen through the spine. Use your exhales to pull yourself in. That sounded nice. Nice big exhale. Let your head drop. Nice. Palms to toes, gorilla pose. Stand on the palms of your hands. Bend your knees a lot for this one. Yeah, so you're going to try to get your toes and your wrist creases touching. That's it, Dylan. Let your head drop. Nice, William. Take another breath. Let it go. Release your arms. Come all the way up to standing. Extended mountain pose. And when you get there, pop up onto your tippy toes. Stretch your arms towards the ceiling. Draw your low belly in. And imagine you're doing a handstand. Press your palms towards the ceiling. And then tiptoe. Keep your core engaged. You tiptoe all the way to the front of your mat. They call this California twinkle toes. Then when you get up there, lower your heels down. Take a big wide step out to your left for wide leg forward fold. Hands to the hips, and then bow all the way forward. When you get down there, hands to the floor. Check in with your breath here. Yeah, try walking your hands back so that your wrists and your heels are all in the same, you got them, yeah, fingers pointing in the same direction as your toes, but the wrists are pretty far back. So you're working to one day get the top of your head to touch the ground, maybe between your toes. Yeah, use the power of your arms to help create the fold. Nice, take another breath. Big exhale, let it go. With your inhale, lift up halfway, straighten your arms. As you exhale, hands to your hips and a hold. Use your breath in to rise the rest of the way up. And exhale, stay. That was 1 of 4. Arms to the side. And hands back to your hips for number 2. Lift your chest, elbows back. Hinge forward. You're going to keep your elbows back like you've got little grasshopper legs. This time you're going to rock your weight slightly forward into the balls of your feet. You'll feel your legs engage, your deep core engage. And you're still working to stretch the top of your head down to the ground. Good. One more breath here. Let it go. Use your inhale to come all the way up. And exhale, stay. Inhale, arms to a T. This time, interlace your fingers behind you. Lift your chest with your inhale and hinge forward. Arms lift. Knuckles lift. Try to keep your palms pretty close together. That's it, Sherry. Again, rock your weight ever so slightly into the balls of your feet so you can feel that engagement with deep core muscles. Squeeze your thighs, pull yourself just a little deeper into the fold. Good, use your next inhale to come all the way up. Stay with your exhale, hands to your hips. Last one, arms to a T. Hinge forward, keep the arms wide. Peace fingers to big toes. Give it a shot, lengthen with your inhale. And then when you're exhaling, you're gonna pull yourself in like you've got a little handlebar doing an upside down pull up. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Elbows will bend, eventually going towards 90 degrees. Good, take one more breath. Big exhale. Release the toe bind, hands to the floor. Everybody's favorite part of Rocket, slide your legs away from each other for wide leg splits. Never in my life. I'm 42 years old and I never started doing the splits until Rocket Yoga entered my life. So I did learn the other day, thank you Hannah for sharing this, that if you stick your booty back, like you're doing a little twerk action, it's actually gonna help to lower your hips down towards the floor. Yeah, also never twerked until Rocket Yoga. All right, let's try Hanumanasana towards the back of the room. So bring your feet a little bit closer together. Rotate towards the back, so your left leg will be forward. And start to lower your back knee down. And to the extent that your body is willing, you're gonna start to slide your legs away from each other towards the front and back of your mat. I usually like a block underneath my left leg here for a little support. Don't worry, we won't be here too long. One more deep breath. Stay. Good, and to come out, you gotta sort of scissor your legs back towards each other, and then you're gonna pivot back to the front of your mat for splits facing the right leg. Yeah, and please know that splits can mean full splits, it can mean half splits, it can be anything that is stretching both the front of your left hip and the hamstring on the right leg. Good, breathe. Good, two more breaths. Nice, slide your legs a little bit closer together, pivot back into that wide stance with your hands on the floor. This time, turn your hands to face back towards the lobby. You start to walk your hands back towards the lobby, start to lean your weight into your heels, toes start to get light, and then at some point, a controlled slide down onto your booty. Or you just get on your butt. Like it's, you know, you got it, Brittany. You got it, Brittany. Yes. Wide leg forward fold. Squeeze your thighs, hinge forward, hold on to the outsides of your feet here. We'll get out of your space here, Amy. Every time you inhale, you're gonna lengthen a little. Every time you exhale, see if you can stretch your chin towards the floor. That's it, Sherry. One more breath. Let it go. Good, as you inhale, sit all the way up. Reach your arms out like so. I gotta slide away from the wall slightly because now you're gonna rock back onto your hips, belly in, and try to lift your legs and catch your feet. Try it. Like I said, you might surprise yourself. If you catch the feet, press your feet into your hands. At the same time, pull your legs down, draw your shoulders away from your ears. Your legs are not 5,000 pounds. Really good. Let the legs lower back down. Side body bend. We can go towards the back of the room to start. So is that your right arm lifts up and reaches for the opposite leg. Look underneath your left arm, your right arm, whatever arm that is. And come all the way back up, switch sides. Yeah, Kelly, try to lean back with that top shoulder, almost like your elbow is like a little can opener or a can that's being peeled open. That's it. Feel that more in the waist a little. Good, all right, come back up. If your legs are pretty wide, bring them to 90 degrees or less. Grab your blocks, 2 blocks, hopefully. If you don't have them, 10 out of 10 recommend. 1 block on each side of your right thigh for Mula Bandha checkups. Everybody's favorite part. So the hands go on the blocks. If you don't have them, it's a little bit harder, but it's totally doable. And you're gonna take a breath in to lengthen. When you're exhaling, you're gonna fold over that right leg and then push down into your hands, try to lift your hips up off the ground. Yeah, good, come all the way back. Switch sides, hands on blocks or on the floor, lengthen, fold with your exhale, hold the breath out, push down to lift up. Keep breathing if you can. That's the hard part. Good. Come back down. One more set. Hands on the right side. Lengthen. Exhale to fold. If you're getting Charlie horses, you're winning at yoga. Push down to lift. Maybe lift the legs. Then you'll definitely get Charlie horses. Good. Come back down. Other side. You're so strong. Lengthen. Fold forward. Push down to lift. Maybe the heels lift. Maybe you breathe. For 3, 2, 1, hips down. Good. Come to face the front of your mat, chaturanga, or go straight to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Good. Inhale, come up on your tippy toes. Bend your knees as you exhale, look forward. Jump to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Come all the way up to standing. When you get up there, take reverse prayer or reverse fist bump. So fist bump is just going to be a little easier on the wrist. And then take a step to face the back of the room, the back of your mat. So you're going to turn all the way around to face backwards. Right leg should be in front. Fold over the right leg. Keep pressing your hands into each other. The English translation of this pose is intense leg stretch. So it's like a very exacting name. Yeah, so keep diving your chest down, like you're reaching your chin for your shin. Nice, Amy. Try to pull your right hip back just a little. Good. Keep your bind and come all the way up to standing. And then pivot on your heels until you're facing the front of your mat. Left heel in front, lengthen, and fold again. Notice the impact of your breath on your body. Nice. Use your next breath in to come all the way up. And then just come to stand at the top of your mat. We've got 2 options for you. So we're going to do a tree variation. So you can do regular tree pose, or you can do a figure 4 tree pose. Or if you're feeling a little spicy this evening, we're going to try half lotus, standing half lotus. I see you, Callie. So for standing half lotus, you would bring the right foot all the way up to the hip crease. I'm going to try to turn like a little bit sideways. So my heel is pretty close to my hip crease here. And then you let this knee drop down. And you can either just hold on to the bottom of the foot, or one day you might reach around behind you, maybe hold on to the arm, eventually the big toe. Like unnecessarily ridiculous. Stay standing, or you can challenge your balance a bit by working on a forward fold. And when you get down there, the right hand can be on the floor to support you. Both hands can be on the floor. Nice. Slowly come back up and we'll switch sides. So choose your option. Always notice that there is one side very different from the other. And it's not this is not the time or the place to like analyze or judge or try to figure out why. But instead, when you move out into the world, into your life, start to notice the patterns that you might have that may have caused it. It's the kind of thing that I know I would rather be aware of than blissfully unaware of. Then you can work to adapt, to change. Good. All the way up. Release the foot to the floor. Mountain pose. Reach up, breathe in. Fold forward as you breathe out. Lift halfway with your inhale. Chaturanga with your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale up on your toes. Bend your knees as you exhale. Look forward. Jump to a seated position. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Dandasana, staff pose. Legs straight, toes flexed. Hands plant on either side of your hips. If your hips feel like they're too far away, hands on the block. Just want to get some action, some pressing down. Pull the belly in. Pull your chin in towards your chest. All the bandhas engaged here. The root lock, the belly lock, the throat lock. One more breath. Keep the bandhas engaged, lean forward, peace fingers to big toes again. Lengthen through the spine, and then pull yourself in. Anytime you have your big toes in a bind, you make sure you're pressing your toes away, so you're really giving yourself something to pull on. Yeah, and I think most of us have straps, so you can also use a strap here, and that'll give you the ability to pull on the strap. Good, lift up and lengthen. Hands plant behind you for reverse plank. So hands are gonna be fingertips pointing forward, point your toes, arms straight, push into the heels, lift the chest, drop the head back. Now reach your toes towards the floor so you can get your inner ankles to touch. That's it, take another breath. Hips back down to the ground. All right, cross your shins in front of you. Hands, let's see, let's grab the blocks here. So your blocks are gonna be just slightly in front of your hips. We're gonna work on jumping back, which is a part of the rocket sequence. There's a lot of jump forward and jump back. Super fun, I promise. So we're making this little X with our shins, blocks on either side of the hips. You're gonna lean forward, push into the blocks to lift your hips up, and then just wiggle your feet back. Step, 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 arms stay straight until you end up in a plank position. And then you lower down. Yeah, you might have to move to the front of your mat, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Keep your hands on your blocks if you've got them. They'll help when we go to jump through too. So come up on the toes. Bend your knees, look forward, jump through to a seated position. Maybe you have a little bit more room to clear it. Well done. All right, so that standing half lotus that we did, we're gonna try that seated now. So we got options again. So the front foot or the right foot's gonna come up into the left hip crease. Sometimes a block under the knee can be really nice. Or if that's just way too much, figure four seated. All right, so I've just got the ankle crossed over the knee. Once you're there, you're gonna fold forward. Get a delicious stretch in that right hip. I see you making faces like this is not delicious. Good, take another breath. Let it go. Good, inhale, come all the way up. Switch your leg around. So we're coming into a half hero pose. So your foot's gonna tuck behind you, top of the foot on the ground, left leg extended out. And I like to have my hands on either side to support me as I start to fold forward. You wanna try to keep the right hip pretty close to the ground here. A block underneath the hips can be really nice if it's too intense on your knee. Good, take another breath. Let it go. Good, inhale as you sit up, cross your shins, get ready. We're gonna lift up and jump back. So you can have your blocks in place, or you can just rock forward, walk your feet to the back of your mat. There you go, yeah, eventually it'll look like a lift up and jump back. Move through your vinyasa, and then we're gonna do that on the other side. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Jump through to your seated position. This time, left foot comes up into the half lotus. So left foot comes into the right hip crease. Adjust as needed. When you're ready, you can fold. Keep your belly drawing in. And in this practice, like the general rule of thumb is that in a forward fold, you're trying to stretch your chin to your shin. You're really going for length in the spine. Nice, sit all the way up for that half hero pose. You're just gonna spin that leg around. Knee points forward. Your knees should stay pretty close together here. Top of the foot on the ground. Try to rock your weight onto that left hip a little bit as you fold forward. Both butt cheeks theoretically are on the mat. Your left butt. Your left butt. My left butt is like barely grazing the floor. And this is my tight hip. My left side's my tight hip. So I'm like actively trying to push into my right hand to rock my hips over to the left a little. All right, sit all the way up. We're gonna jump up and jump back. And at this point, I will offer an option. If you're like super not into that, you just hold boat pose while we do all the other things, all right? So your choice. Cross the shins, press into the hands, jump back, move through your vinyasa, and then come back to seated position because there's more. Janu Shirshasana. Once you come to your seated position, right foot to the inside of the left leg. Reach up to the ceiling and fold over that leg. So in that effort of creating the length to be able to one day touch your chin to your shin, that's where the block or the strap can become really handy. You've got to learn to use your arms to help create the length instead of just letting gravity create it for you. So with your hands either on the strap or on your foot, pull down to stretch your chest forward. Nice. Take another breath. Fold a little bit deeper. Sit all the way up. This time, right foot plants down, right knee points up. Reach the right arm, so same side. Lean forward, and then turn this arm out to the right. Turn your thumb down. Bend this elbow. You're trying to bind around the front of this shin. This is another one where both butts should be on the ground, but my right butt cheek is hovering. I know. Don't tell the rocket police. Really nice. Sit all the way up. Release the bind. If you've got it, lean back a little bit. Makes it a little easier to twist, and that's what we're going to do is twist towards the lobby. So you lean back. Somehow your legs are different, Evan, but I think right leg is bent for most of us. Yeah, and then hook that left elbow to the outside of the knee. Right hand pushes down. That's like your little kickstand. And Matt, try twisting the other way. Yeah, you'll get a nice twist on the or the stretch on the outside of the right leg. Really good. Release that. Here we go. We're going to lift up and jump back or hold boat pose. Press into the hands. Wiggle your feet back. Move through your vinyasa. And then jump through to seated again. We get to do it all again on the other side. Left foot into tree pose. Yeah, and go for it. So the rocket sequence is based off of the traditional classical Ashtanga sequence. And in that sequence, you do the lift up and jump back between every single side and every single pose. And I think I counted once, it was something like 30 lift ups and jump backs. So you're welcome. We are taking some of those out. So you sit up, transition into the next pose. We don't have to worry about all that lift up and jump back. So Marichyasana, sit up, left foot plants, left knee points up. Create this length in the spine by stretching the left arm up and then lean down to the inside of this left leg. Wrap your arm in front of the leg. Maybe that other arm reaches around and take a full bind. You can also use your strap here. Notice your breath. One more. Good. Sit all the way up, release the bind, and take your twist. Twisting to the left. Hook your elbow. Yeah, that's it, Ben. That's the direction you're headed. Good. Come all the way back. Cross your shins. Press down, lift up. Take it back through your vinyasa. Take a breath. Clear it out. Jump to the top of your mat to a seated position, boat pose, Navasana. Make sure your blocks are nearby. We're going to do 3 of these, and the full traditional Ashtanga sequence way of doing it, I guess, is that you do 5. So again, you're welcome. This is part 1. Part 2, you're going to make that same X with your shins, hands on your blocks on either side of your hips. Lean forward, press down, see if you can lift your hips and your feet. Good, and then you come back down, boat pose. So that was 1. Boat pose becomes the resting pose in this situation. Everything's relative. Cross your shins, right forward, really pull your belly in, push down, lift up. Last one, boat pose. All right, cross the shins, lean forward, press down. This time you're gonna lift up and wiggle your feet all the way back into your chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Take a breath, let it go. Down through to seated, come to your back. Make sure you've got your strap nearby. Lay all the way down. I got you here. Lay all the way down. Both legs extended straight up. Push to the front of your mat. Right leg is gonna lift up and you're gonna take your strap around the ball of your right foot. Some of you bendier folks might be able to take a peace finger bind here. So stretch your left leg out on the mat and then take your left hand and place it on top of your left thigh. That's gonna be your signal to your body that that leg, that hip needs to stay down. Good, so now the second part of this is that you're gonna keep your leg straight up, but you're gonna crunch your chest up towards your leg, like you're doing a forward fold. So you're thinking chin to shin. Nice, Marie. Good, and you have to breathe while you do all that. That's it, Stephanie. Yeah, try to keep that hip down, left leg down. Good, lower your chest back down to the ground. Now open your leg out to the right side. Keep your left hip down on the floor. That's it, Hamid. Yeah, head down too. Look to the left. It's similar to a posture we do standing. I'm sure you remember it. Good, come all the way back up to the center. And one more little crunch. So you're gonna lift your chest, lift your chin, maybe give your knee a smooch. Good, and then release that leg. We'll switch sides. Right leg all the way to the ground. Lift your left leg up. Nice, hold on to the strap with just your left hand and then right hand can come to the right thigh. And then crunch yourself up. Pull the leg toward your face as you pull your face toward your leg. And I bet you don't even need that strap. Really good, lower down, take your leg out to the left. Gaze to the right. Nice, yeah, you can really use your right hand on your hip here to try to anchor that right hip because both hips, both butts are on the ground. Really good, come back to the center, do another little crunch, give yourself a smooch, and then release your foot. We're gonna skip backward somersaults today. So instead, knees into your chest and start to rock forward and back. Make your way through vinyasa. So you can just rock forward, use a little bit of momentum, plant the hands, step back into chaturanga, or you can just, crawl yourself back into a downward facing dog. You are all doing amazing. Take a breath. Let it go. Look forward, jump through to a seated position again, and then come all the way to your backs. Bridge pose. We're gonna do 3 back bends on our backs. So go on up when you're ready. Feet down, hips up. Set your gaze to just one point. Move out your breath. Good, come all the way down. Number 2, bridge pose or wheel pose. And for wheel, your hands are gonna come back behind your shoulders, elbows pointing up, hands pretty wide if you can get them there. And then push into the feet, start to push into the hands. See if you can come at least to the top of the head. If you've got the top of the head on the ground, try to push the floor away from you. Straighten your arms. Nice, Kristen. Try to straighten your arms even more. That's it. Armpits towards the back of the room. Press into the heels. Good. Lower all the way down. Right. Number 3, bridge pose or wheel pose. Go for it. Yeah, really nice. Keep the breath moving. Yeah, Hamid, try to walk your feet closer to your hands or vice versa. Yep, and then push down, try to straighten your arms a little more. Yeah, strong triceps, that's it. Soften your jaw though. 3, 2, and 1. Everybody come down. Throw out some fist bumps to the badasses around you, yogis at home, badasses, all of you. especially if you're at home. No offense, people in the studio, but have you tried practicing at home lately? It's so hard. Usually about like halfway through it, I'm like, going to switch my laundry. My dogs are jumping on me. I have to let them out. It's so hard. So much. It's so nice to have the container of the studio. Soles of the feet together. Let your knees open. Happy baby. And then half pigeon. You're staying here on your back or rocking forward to be face down. Yogi's choice. Notice your breath. If you can slow it down. Take 3 more deep breaths. And when you are complete, switch sides. Three more breaths. And then from here, we're going to come into an inversion of your choosing. If you're on your back, stay right there. Feel free to take any sort of movements that you feel you need before your inversion. Lots of freedom and flexibility. Nice, Ange. Press your toes into your arm a little. Yeah. And so for your inversion, you can take a shoulder stand. You can take a waterfall. Any other sort of movement that just gets your hips up above your heart. If you're in a shoulder stand, move into plow pose by lowering your legs behind you. And then from your plow pose, ear pinning pose, squeeze your knees around your ears. And then everybody unwind all the way down onto your backs. Get rid of your block if you've got one. Right knee squeezes into your chest, stretch your left leg out long, and then twist over to your left. Anchor down through the right shoulder. You can have your arm at a cactus, or you can stretch it all the way out towards the lobby. And come all the way back up to the center and switch your legs. Give yourself a squeeze and then twist over towards your right. Anchor through the left shoulder. And turn your head towards the left. Come back to the center and bring both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your leg. And then release for Shavasana, your final rest. There's a cold lavender towel at the top corner of your mat. Yeah, take your time to get that towel put in just the right place for you. And let your legs be heavy on the floor, toes roll out away from each other. Arms alongside your body with your palms face up or face down, whatever feels better for you tonight. And scan your body and see if you can soften even just 10% more. And allow yourself to rest with no effort. No place to be, no thing to do. Just be. Take a deep breath in. Really long, clearing exhale. And roll to your right-hand side. Gently press yourself all the way up to a seated position, facing towards the front of the room. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And just take a moment to tap in and acknowledge yourself for showing up today. Yogis at home showing up despite the distractions. Yogis in the studio showing up despite parking. And we'll seal this practice the same way that we began, with one shared Om. Inhale. Ah. Bring your thumbs to your forehead with the third eye center. And together we bow. Namaste. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, virtual yogis, for being here. For all of you who just tried Rocket for the first time, you all are amazing.